Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Fleecy Needles podcast number 10. I'm Laurel. Today is the 21st of January, so I hope you're all doing really well. I apologise for the lighting. It's a little bit weird at the moment. We've had a couple of days of really overcast weather, trying to do this while we've got a bit of sunshine. So anyway, I'm coming to you from the capital of Canberra. We've had a bit of strange weather happening here in Australia. The weather grumps have really been throwing it at us with floods in Queensland, the horrific bushfires in Victoria, and the heat wave. And then we've had a cool patch, and just up the road there were people getting hailstones the size of golf balls. So yeah, and then we're going into a heat wave again next week. So yeah, so hopefully we'll get the weather under control and be a bit more comfortable to do a bit more crafting because it's just been quite hot of late. So I'm working on smaller projects at the moment, but today I'm going to show you what I have been working on, as well as some of the bigger jumpers that I did last year while I was away from YouTube. So the main thing I like to do with this podcast is inspire people to give knitting a go, and also to introduce you to some of the wool producers and fibre artists and dyers that we have in Australia and New Zealand. I'm very much into buy local, buy nationally, help everyone in your own backyard basically, especially with the bushfires in Victoria. We've got a lot of wool producers that are going to be doing it really tough for a while now. So anyway, I'm going to start off with my first project, which I showed you on the last podcast that I did, and this is the classic toe-up sock. Sorry, I've got everything a bit to the side of me today. So this is by Emma Do, and she's on Ravelry and Etsy. So it was really good knit. I did say that when I first cast it on, I must have done one of the stitches the wrong way around. That's why I've got that little bubble at the toe. So they're a little bit looser than what I normally have. I did have to modify that pattern a little bit because I've got size 11 flipper feet, flat feet, but generally it's worked out really well. I did have to redo the top on one of them because I bound off too tight on it, so that was an easy quick fix. But I'm really happy with how they turned out. Super comfortable, and the yarn is super soft. So I used the Crucci sock yarn 4-ply in the shade 25. And I got this one at Ashford in New Zealand. So it's 75% Merino and 25% Nylon. So that's one little project that I can tick off the list. I also have done, to use up the rest of the sock yarn, I made the Brilliant Beanie. So this is, I haven't blocked it yet. I've got a lot of blocking to do. But this is the Brilliant Beanie. So using up some of the sock yarn, and then I got naturally 100% New Zealand Merino, which is here. Sorry, everything. I've got to be careful. My little stack is actually about to fall down. So 100% New Zealand Merino, and the shade is 385. And it is just gorgeous to work with. The stitch definition is really nice. So really happy. It is so small. I can get it on my head because I don't have a very big head, but just lovely little details there on the way that the decreases are worked down. So this is by Amy Kate Sutherland, and she's known as the Graceful Tangle on Instagram and Ravelry. So yeah, and it's also a free pattern when I got that one off on Ravelry. So but while I'm on it, I'll just do, this is one of my whips, is I'm just doing another Brilliant Beanie. So I have started it. I do have a little bit of that Crucci sock yarn left, but I think I might do the rest of it when I start the increases. So I'm hoping I'll have enough yarn for both of them. But that one is a really nice, easy project to do, and can use up those leftovers. That will be good, because I had a bit of a clear out this week, and I've made that if my projects are not going to fit in the suitcase, well, I can't have that project, because I've got a few more projects lying around the house, but I'm going to try to finish those and then just keep everything in a suitcase. So all good. So as I mentioned, I had been away from YouTube for a while, and I had started making my son this jumper, a beautiful cable jumper. It is a Spotlight pattern, number 1803. Normally it's done a 12 ply. I have had this yarn for many years. I've knitted it up many times, and either the sleeves was too long, it didn't look right, and then I worked out for myself this color doesn't suit. But I've made this one for my son, and it's in an acrylic. It's an 8 ply, but I just don't know what it is. The only difference I had with this pattern was the neckline was too tight going over the boys' heads, and it was a different needle size than what you would expect, so I just undid it and did it in the needle size that I thought. But it's really nice, and I'll see if I can get a picture of one of the boys wearing it, and I've got to block it as well. So, but yeah, nice and comfortable, nice easy knit with just that little bit of oh, I've got to do a cable now. So yeah, really happy, nice and soft, works out really soft with that one. Now the next knit, I'll have to pop a picture in. This is called Chunky Easy, and it's a unisex pattern by Thistle and Twig's Craft, which I got off Etsy. And the biggest thing about this jumper is getting it long enough from my son, because he just loves it. Even in this warm weather, he still wants to wear it. So I've made it in the Spotsaver print, the colour Tweed, and I did it on 5mm needles. And the last time I showed it, I'd only done the back, and I'd done that in like a day. So it is one of the quickest knits ever, and it's super soft. For an acrylic, it's really lightweight, and yeah, very pliable. I've actually used that yarn a lot on quick knits that I have, but yeah, it's so squishy, and yeah, as I said, it needs wash, but trying to get it off my son has been a bit of a challenge. But for my next jumper that I made for my youngest, I use this pattern, and it's from Panda, and it was designed in Meteor, which is sort of an art yarn, but it sort of really would probably be a 10 to 12 ply, but I've used the 10 ply with the Spotsavers, and I get gauge on it. So I use this pattern. I'll just show you here. I'm pretty much done every pattern in it repeatedly, so it's a really good versatile one to have in your little stash. But again, this is that yarn, that soft acrylic yarn, for my youngest, and he, again, it was like, I need to wash it, can I have it back? Can I have it back now? And it's more a case of when they're out of the house, and then I can do it. But it's just, as you can see, it's just so soft and squishy, and yeah, it has peeled a little bit, but the amount of wear that my son has had with this jumper has been really nice. But it's so good to use up that yarn, because it just didn't suit me, so getting rid of that stockpile of that yarn. Now for my last jumper that I have, when I first showed it to you, I was just at the bottom of the rib. So I've used this Cleckheaton's Raglan jumper, and I've done it in 2XXL, because my husband's a very tall man. He's 6'8" or 202 centimeters. So this jumper fits him really well. And just turn it around. I haven't blocked it yet. This is used with Cleckheaton Country Natural Yarns, and this is the third time I've made up this jumper. So this is where wool can be so wonderful, because you can just undo it and make something different. It does stretch a bit, and that's why we've had so much success. But it's just beautiful. And I think when I started this jumper, I was only down here. And like, I've made quite a few Raglan jumpers over the years, but I've never done that fine, sorry, just trying to get a little bit closer on that sleeve definition. And that was so much fun. Just absolutely loved it. And it really just lifts the jumper up a little bit more. So, yeah, really pleased with how that one's turned out. My husband's going, yeah, a bit hot to wear it at the moment, but I'm sure come winter time he will be wearing it a lot, because we get down to -6 and 7s here in Canberra. I know it's not cold like in the northern hemisphere, but for us it's really, really cold. So that was what I have been doing. So, oh, I forgot to mention what I'm wearing. This is the Sophorine by Audrey Borrego. I actually got a new printer, so I've printed off a picture. She also has another picture of her doing it in a red and white stripe as well. So this is the second one of 3. I've already started a sort of a denim blue color and more of an acrylic wool. This one's made in cotton, and it's the Spotlight Baby Bella Tootgarook 4-ply cotton, and I've got mid blue and the grey blue mix on this. So I did 4 stripes of the mid blue and then 10 of the variegated. I did the size 5, and then I'm actually taller on the torso than most women, so it's just a little bit short. So when I get to the whips, I'll show you that when I make it, I'm going to do it at least another inch and a half before I put the ribbing on. But it fits so well. I didn't do any bust shaping on it, mainly because with cotton, once you wash it a few times, you get that drape happening with it. So yeah, and so comfortable to wear. The only issue I had with it was that one of my cats attacked it. So just that little mark there is where I tried to get all the cotton looking nice again, because I have a devil of a little cat who likes to attack anything that is blocking. So as soon as I can, my other cat has been unwell, so we don't put anything on the floor at the moment. So once she's better, we will get those blocking mats under the bed so I can get everything sorted out. So I'll show you my third Sophorine. The reason I'm doing so much of it in cotton is I made the Stephen West Mystery Musical in cotton, which I will show you on the next video. And I had some leftovers, so, and then I did have the dark variegated one in stash anyway. So I'm really pleased with how it's turning out. These ones I've done blocks of 20 rows just to use up all the yarn that I'm having, but I just can't wait for it to be finished. Yeah, it's, I think, one of those staple patterns you need, well, you don't need to, but I will definitely keep in my library of patterns now, because it's just quite a quick knit. As soon as you picked up the neckline and the sleeve, or if you want to do sleeves, or just do the little ribbing around, it doesn't take very long. And I'm just so pleased with it. And it's also a free pattern on Ravelry. So yeah, it's really nice to have something simple but sort of uplifts your fashion. I'm not a fashionista, as you know, but it makes me feel a little bit special once I'm wearing it. So okay, now I'm just going to go and grab these socks. They're a little bit further away. So this is my third whip, since I've shown you the second Brilliant Beanie and the second Sophorine. So this beautiful, beautiful yarn, I hope you can see the sparkle in it, I bought when I was in New Zealand last year. It is from Harnie's Hoolies Designs. So just, is that going to, I went to a wool festival at Mystery Creek in Hamilton, so that was in July last year, and it was the first time they'd had that wool festival there. So it works out that it is, the base is called Stitches Brew, and it's 75 superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% bronze stellina. 4-ply, 100 grams, and it's around 400 meters, and the colorway is Baker. So my son actually chose these because he's got a real thing for orange at the moment. And I said, oh, well, if they don't fit, I can wear them. And goes, no, 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 no. So, and again, he's got the same size feet as me, even though he has been on a growth spurt. So I've done, this is the vanilla sock pattern from the Crazy Sock Lady. And I do my socks on 2.75 millimeter needles. So, and it's just sort of like, I'm not going to count them up, but yeah, we've got long feet, and I just sort of make them to whatever suits. And now that my boys are on that growth spurt, basically every time I make them something, I have to do a measure check before I start making them something. And I've got to make it up pretty quickly because as I said, they're dad's tall, and going into the teenage years, they definitely are growing a lot. So my next section is instant gratification. As you saw with the beanie, I do my beanies on a 40 centimeter circular. It's been really hard to get chalgoo needles in 40 centimeters, and I've been to a couple of shops around here, and they said it's, even though stuff has been ordered with chalgoo, it's taking a long time to come in. So I got on Amazon and I found these needles, which is what is in the beanie, and are very, very similar to chalgoo. The wire's a bit thicker, but it's still really flexible, and really nice tips to work on them as well. They do have all the bigger sizes, but when it comes to the smaller sizes, like 2.5, 3.5, and 4.5 millimeters in the smaller ones. So the ones that I really wanted, like the 3 and the 4, are not in there. But it also comes with some good accessories with those darning needles and a little crochet hook, and then it's got a few stitch markers at the back as well. So I'll pop that Amazon link up in the description. So yeah, they've been a good find and affordable, because not everyone can afford those chalgoo needles. And just finding what you like is another big thing when you're trying to find all those needles that you want too. So I'm not sure if I actually mentioned a little top tip in the last podcast that I did, but I saw a lady, when she was weaving in her ends, what she does is she ties a knot at the end, so, and then she blocks it, and then she cuts the ends off. And I thought that it was really good, especially if you're doing a big shawl like the Mystery Musical and you've got ends galore, or you're reusing wool. So that was really good. But the other one, when it comes to weaving in ends, I don't know how well you can see that because it is still a bit, I don't know what you call it. But anyway, I was watching Norman from Nimble Needles, and he's got some amazing tutorials. Instead of just weaving your end and sideways, it's more using a pointed needle and then going halfway through the stitches, and instead of going straight across like that, it's more up and back down and like that. And I found that I'm getting a better finish doing that, and it looks a lot tidier. So that's my top tip for this podcast. And while I don't have any news on any fibre artists or yarn dyers or producers, coming up in March from the 6th till the 9th, we've got the Australian Yarn Festival. So the tickets are available now for the classes and for entry. I think they've still got it at $20. It's at Hotel Realm in Canberra. It's a great event. I hope I can go this year and not have a panic attack. It was so well organised. They had a lot of classes on. They had a sitting area where everybody could get together and just sit down and knit and have a chat and do a bit of crochet or whatever fibre art that you're used to doing. So that was really good. So that's coming up soon in March. Unfortunately, the River Yarn Festival at Carcoar has been cancelled, but hopefully they will be back in 2027. I think that's all for me. I hope I haven't spoken too fast. I just try and get these done without the bird noise being too loud. We've got a lot of work happening on the race course not far from my house, so it just does tend to get a bit noisy. So I hope you're all well. Please like, share and subscribe because I love making these videos now that I'm back doing this. And yeah, happy knitting, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.